Okay, we've got all our images in for the most part. Now let's do some type styling. Let's really craft this. And because we have so much text, we're going to have to do this through automation as much as possible. So let's start with our body copy and let's open up the style sheet and do some adjusting. So we do have, I'm using justification on this. You might use ragged right, but when we have this much room, it usually works out well to justify. It looks cleaner. But these numbers here, this is too big a gap, 80 to 130, and that's why you get the huge gap. So we're going to put that at 90 and 110. And then letter spacing, we're going to go -5, 5. And then our glyph scaling, you could leave this at 100%, but just to help things out a little bit, you can go 99% to 101. That just allows for a little bit of scooching here and there to make things work without it being visible to the eye. And then on our hyphenation, we only want 2 or less hyphens per paragraph. We want words with at least maybe 6 characters after the first 3 letters and before the last 3. That should help. Now let's see how that looks. That's already taken care of some of these little widows and such, so that's good. We messed up our wrap here, but I can fix that. Fixed it. Everything else looks good. Now let's go and put some drop caps in here. We want to put some styling here that also helps start this first chapter. So here's what you can do. We're going to go up to paragraph, and right over here you see the A and then this A+. This tells it how many lines deep to go. So this is 2 lines, 3 lines, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can go as big as you want. I think for this one, it might be nice to go, we don't have a ton of room, so maybe just 2. And this tells how many letters. So you can go with 3 letters, whatever. But we're just going to do 1, and we're going to define this as a new style sheet. And we're going to call it first paragraph. And when you go to drop caps, you'll see it's already in there. 2 lines, 1 character, but there's one more thing we can do is we can assign a style sheet to that. So I'm going to say new character style, and this will only apply to that one drop cap letter. So I'm going to call this drop cap. And what I want to do with this one is I want to go bold, and I want to put color in it. Right now, let's say red. We'll say OK. So within this style sheet for the first paragraph, I have this drop cap. And I say OK. Now we'll just go through and convert the other ones. So here is transformation, first paragraph. The exhibition, first paragraph. Dessau, Dessau. Now if we wanted to change anything about that, it'd be pretty easy to do. So we could take our character style, open up drop cap, bring it over here, and make any changes that we wanted to here. So maybe we want a little bit of space to the right of it, so we could actually take the tracking to 10, maybe 75. That's a little better. 50 would do it. We could also change the color again to anything we want. And you can change the boldness. Go thin, italic, bold, anything you want. And since we have a red drop cap, let's go through and change our subheads to red also. So all we have to do is open up our headings, go to the character color, and let's make those red also. That gives it a little bit of snap. Now you can do whatever you want in combination with your typeface. If you want to make your headings bold or how big they want to do. I'm just showing you how to style this the way I would and the way I got everything to fit. Everything still seems to be fitting. Let's do one more thing here that I want to show you. I want to show you how to add a page number. So we're going to go back to our pages. And you remember we had our master pages? Well, we can actually put the page number on these master pages. So there's nothing on here except for the guides. And what we'll do is we'll take a little text box. You don't want to go in and change the page numbers. This booklet is only 12 pages, but if it were more than that, it would get too time consuming. So you can actually insert a character. It's called the page marker. So you go to Insert, Special Character, Markers, Current Page Number. And that means that the current page number will go right there on every page. So then you just have to decide what kind of style you want to apply to it. I'll put this as my same as my body copy. And where do you line it up? You can line it up with the edge of the margin if you wanted. And then I'm just going to put that on the other side by holding Option, Shift, putting it there. And this time I want it flush right. And now when I go to my pages, you'll see the pages down here. Now maybe we don't want to count page 1. So in that case, page 1 is not the same parent page here. So we can either do this. We can drag none over it, and now there's no attributes from this parent page applied here. Or you could hit Shift Command and click on it, and now it's not locked anymore, and you can just say delete. Okay, so now your page numbers are throughout, and again, you can go back and style those by getting to the parent page. Now it's time to look at these breaks. Now we can look at the type. We've done all the styling that we can. Let's go to the preview. Make sure everything's okay. Your type is going to have to fit around all of this. Maybe this could go a little bit lower. Line up better there. We've got one break in this paragraph. That's good. No widows. This photo goes off. This one has a nice wrap. No widows, no issues. Now we do have a little bit of room down here, so I'm just going to see how much bigger I can make this image. Or this image. Now let's see where we're at. This brings us to my next issue that we can fix with copy. Do you see how this one little piece of type is hanging over? That's kind of problematic when you're reading any kind of book or zine. You don't want to have a one line of copy go to the next line. The same thing happens here. So we can fix that again in our keep options on the paragraph style. So we're going to go to the body copy, and we're going to go to keep option. So we actually want to keep lines together. So at the start or end of the paragraph, we want 2 lines together. What that means is there'll never be one line hanging at the beginning or the end. There'll always be 2. Let's see how that works. So your bottom might not come out perfectly even, but now there's no lines just hanging out. You can see this one's got 2. Everything still fits. Okay, so the only other thing I want you to do at this point is design a cover and design the back page. And keep in mind your margins, either things fit inside this margin or they go off to the bleed. Keep in mind whatever typefaces you've chosen for the inside of this zine and carrying through some of that. So don't do something on the cover that has nothing to do with anything. Go and examine some Bauhaus artwork. You want to put the title here, Bauhaus. And then on the back, you want to do something different there also. So as far as the styling of this, I've given you kind of a direction to go by. Don't take too much time in this because this is just a practice zine. It's not your final project. Don't put any images in this booklet that I've not given you. And also all your typefaces need to be from Adobe fonts. So that means you have to go to Adobe like I showed you to pick your typefaces. That way when you send me the InDesign file, I can just activate those fonts and I already have the images and it keeps it really simple. You can just send me an InDesign file. And as usual, if you have any questions, just let me know.